Interestingly, well, we know that markets go up and markets go down. And what we've seen over the last few months is clearly a deterioration in markets. How can advisors help their clients get through those periods of underperformance and market volatility?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a key one for the client. If the client ends up switching to cash when the market goes down and misses the rebound, obviously it's not so good for the client. And it's a key one for the advisor because obviously you don't want, well, you could potentially lose clients during that period. Gosh, how come you lost me all this money? This isn't what I signed up for. So critical for both. Now, what could you do? Well, one answer is I'm just going to recommend a lower risk profile investment for all of my clients. Fine, I've dampened the risk of decline, but I've also dampened the upside and it might not allow them to meet their goals. So that you could do that, but that is an expensive way of dampening the impact of this volatility. So what else can you do that's like less expensive for the client, I guess, in terms of their returns? And this is where you can come and say, well, I'm going to give them the same amount of volatility because that's what they need to reach their goals. And that's what actually suits their risk profile, setting aside these risk perception changes in the market. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and communicate it in a way that will dampen the sort of the psychological impact on the client. And so there's a few examples of this, which are, I think, relatively simple things often, but they're around sort of how things are framed, for example. So a loss is only a loss compared with something else. So, I don't know, you can tell me the market's down. What is it, down over the last 3 months? Okay, fine. I make it up. It's gone down 7% in the last 3 months. All right, damn, that's a loss. All right, is it down over year to date? Maybe it is. Is it down over 3 years? Okay, 3 years? No, it's up a lot for 3 years. Oh, I don't know, I've just made that up. However, the point here is changing the reference point can change what seems to be a loss into a gain. Maybe it's up versus a benchmark. Maybe it's up compared with an alternative investment strategy. So part of it, I think, is changing the reference point. And then part of it, I think, is then changing the way people respond or clients potentially respond to the same information. And my favorite example, which I tested with a whole bunch of individual investors some time ago, was about changing the order in which returns are shown. So the archetypal example is you have a table of returns and you show them the 6 months, the 1 year, the 3 years, the 5 years, and it goes across the page, left to right. And sort of, I guess that's sort of standard industry practice. Often you see returns. But the problem is that we see the first number is the shortest period, which is probably the most volatile, which is the most likely to be a loss. And that's the thing that I might overreact to.